Jared, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. I'll go toss this real quick. Oh, there's so much out there.
All right.
Whew. Yeah. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks very much.
That's awesome. I'm super excited for you.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on the position?
So I started as Roundtable Commissioner, I think March of last year.
Okay.
So like maybe a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple things in there that like you have to attend Commissioner College or some other stuff like that. So like there's some stuff that's tenure based.
Okay.
There's some stuff that's otherwise. I'm trying to see. Yeah, that's not working, unfortunately. Our streaming was unfortunately not what we would have wanted.
Lovely.
It was tough. We did our best, but
that's what we do.
It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so how was your summer?
Busy.
Nice.
Super busy, but good busy.
Yeah.
Between scouts and just day programs for my son and work and my wife, it was super busy. I mean, as a family, we only got out on one camping trip, but with scouts, we've already been on 4 camping trips. So it's like, it kind of balances out. But at the same time, I'm like, my son and I didn't get to go backpacking. So we're still trying to fit that in. But
I just went with my daughter this last weekend.
Nice.
She's 6.
Okay.
And she and I went backpacking.
How'd she do?
First time. She was fantastic.
That's awesome.
She loved it.
Okay.
So she had a great time. She said next time we have to go for a week.
I know my son keeps saying the same thing because my cousin and I are going over Labor Day weekend, and my son's like, "Can I go?" I'm like, "Well, you have school on Friday," but I was like, we're going for 35 miles. I was like, this is gonna be a little bit too much for you this year, but told him I was like, once you get into Scouts BSA, you'll get your fill. Don't even worry about it. Once you go to, you go to High Adventure, you'll be good.
Yeah, we did 5 miles in, 5 miles out.
Nice.
With them.
Good.
She was carrying like 4 pounds.
She's
so tiny. So
perfect.
She had like 4 pounds. She had her clothes and her snacks.
Okay. Yeah.
That was about it. And I had everything else.
That's awesome.
But
That's
it was
so
great.
awesome.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Good. Where'd you guys go?
Up near Ute Pass.
Okay.
Near Silverthorne.
Mm-hmm.
So first time I'd been up there. So we went with a buddy of mine and his daughter. So it was daddy-daughter backpack weekend, which was phenomenal.
That's super cool.
The girls were amazing. They had a great time.
Good.
So
good.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a blast.
Super cool.
So
That's super cool.
I did Weeblos weekend.
Yeah.
The week before that,
mm-hmm.
we did Adventure Camp. I think 2 weeks before that. I'm not camping this weekend, but then my son's got a troop camp next weekend, and then I'm doing a yurt camping trip with my sisters and all my nieces and nephews.
Okay.
The weekend after that.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, it's good. The weather is, not, during the day, but like in the evening time, I think the weather has been really nice.
I mean, it's been pretty great.
Yeah.
And we were pretty high elevation. It was in the 30s overnight.
Okay.
Up there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how high we were, but it was up there. It cooled down for sure.
I couldn't believe the temperatures during Weeblos weekend. That was wild.
Yeah.
I mean that storm went
storm
through.
and everything.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild.
That was a lot of fun. So I hadn't done that before. So that was my middle dude. I didn't get to do Weeblos weekend with my oldest. It just didn't work out or whatever.
Right.
I think we didn't know about it, or I think when he was those ages, it might have been like, I don't know. It wasn't quite still COVID time because I think he was a bear, or like maybe Bear Weeblos 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, just didn't get to do it. But it was great. We had a blast.
Yeah. Yeah. It was super cool.
Yeah. Got to teach the knots, which was Really
Nice.
fun.
I know my son loves that. He loves the knots.
It was great. We had a bunch of kids like taught them a bunch of stuff, and then they like came back during free time and were just like tying knots, and I was like, sweet.
That's a win.
Yeah.
That's super win. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
good.
great. How we doing, sir?
Big group.
I know.
I guess
It's getting out of hand.
It's also one-on-one. Well, in a way, it kind of is,
I
right?
think the state of the council may not appeal to the den leaders as much as, you know, like
Yeah.
for some of us it's like, you know, if that's the hot topic, like we're interested, but like I think for a lot of the Cub leaders it's like state of the council, man, I need state of my den, like what am I doing
Right.
with these 6 kids? Like that's
Right.
that's where my focus is, not on, you
You
know.
did bring up some cool stuff.
I like it. I'm hoping we'll get some people on the live stream too. We'll see. We'll see.
my Cub Master was online.
Nice.
He, so I don't know if he's gonna make the switch over to here.
I can't get mine to broadcast, and I'm not sure what's going on because it's the same computer it used to work and it's not working right now. But it used to be I would broadcast mine through Mitchell's. He's out of town, so Ross and I were like trying to figure out, like trying to cobble it together to get it working. And he did a great job with like all his hardware and everything else, but like getting the 2 simultaneous streams through one machine is some kind of sorcery that Mitchell knows how to do and nobody else does.
Nice.
So we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna have to like take a bunch of notes, make a document or something that
Right.
explains it all. But I am recording, so we'll post this up. So anybody
Excellent.
who doesn't get to see it live will still get to see it.
Perfect.
What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, so we are talking recruiting.
Yep.
So what does everybody have planned?
We just finished.
Nice. How was
Well, we're halfway through. So
Okay.
we did schools Monday and Tuesday this week.
Fantastic.
In Castle Pines and Castle Rock.
that? Okay.
Went well. It's difficult getting into some of the schools. It is what it is, but I think it was
Yeah.
a really strong effort. We've got our
Nice.
ice cream social tomorrow and Saturday, and I think if we get half of the interest, then we should be above 70 kids going into the
That's
scouting.
amazing. Nice.
Yeah, we're at 62 right now. So
Yeah.
we're
That's fantastic.
yeah we're good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we're doing great. Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you noticed an increase in interest this year?
Yes, I did. Like direct interest. So when I was at Buffalo Ridge in Castle Pines, and families like people pass up and like just make a beeline to my table, and
Nice.
like, yep, we want to know more. We're really interested. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
this is fantastic.
We've been
didn't
having-
see that last year.
We've been having people reach out to us, and I've talked to a couple other packs that have said the same thing, where
Mhm.
it feels like people are actively seeking out scouting this year more so than
Yeah.
previously.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear that it's
Well, I think
on the
like
ground
that
as well.
negative image is starting to go away that existed like 10, 15 years ago. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
that kind of hung on for a while, but
it's been tough, you know.
yeah,
And I
well,
think
COVID
too,
was a beast.
yeah. But yeah, we've been having a lot of people reaching out. So what we had was people finding us via Be a Scout or finding our website or whatever in the spring through the summer, and then we just invite them to stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just keep a spreadsheet of everybody who reaches out and all their contact info.
Mm-hmm.
And like once a month, I just send out an email and say, hey, here's a couple things we have coming up. You're welcome. You know, come check it out.
That's a good idea. I like that.
So that I call it my prospective scouts list, and I just like I keep that. And if I send you know half a dozen emails over the course of a year and don't get any results, like get no responses,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably drop them off and
Sure.
I'll stop checking with it. But like I've had so many cases like that where somebody reaches out, says they're interested, then something happens in their life, and 6 months later they reach back out and say, we're interested. We're you know we'd like to come check it out.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
fantastic idea.
We had that.
Yeah.
That was like we had a family in March like reached out and said, "Hey, we're really interested in scouting." I said, "Perfect, come check it out." And then they were like, "We're both government employees, both lost our jobs, and we got to figure stuff out." And so then reached back out last month, and so
Right.
trying to get into stuff. So that's one of those things. Those repeated contacts, like people will see it, they'll reach out, and then things may change if you just keep that open. That's been really helpful for us.
It's a good idea. I
So,
like that.
are all you guys in Douglas County?
Arapahoe.
Arapahoe. Okay, so my pack reached out to the 3 schools that they draw
nice.
from and asked if they could get flyers,
For back to school or
Yeah.
just in general?
just in general.
Yeah.
And they got approved. We're happy to report that one or more of the school and it approved your flyer, and they were getting it, when they were going to distribute it. So
Nice.
they got it from Sage Canyon, which hasn't had any scout activity in it for about 5 years.
Wow.
That's
that
good.
we know of.
Yeah.
I mean, they're over in the terrain.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You're a little familiar with Castle Rock.
Yep.
And then they got Castle Rock Elementary, which is kind of where they're based out of.
Okay.
That was their original draw.
Yeah.
Is their school, and then the Renaissance.
Oh, good.
They got permission to do the flyers at Renaissance too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And last year Renaissance kind of got all mixed up. Year 781, correct?
Correct.
So somehow at the back to school night or the back to whatever they were doing
Yeah.
last year, one of the other packs, 786, I don't know where they are for sure,
Can't say I'm familiar with that.
but they were scheduled to draw from Renaissance, and it's like, well, they've
Wow.
never drawn from Renaissance.
Right.
You guys have.
Renaissance? I don't think so. Unless Val Mulhern
maybe
did.
it's the other one, because you guys are out of,
Predominantly in the meadows.
right?
So yeah, so we do Clear Sky.
Okay, so it's the other pack. It's the one that Andre's with,
Okay.
Gignac,
Mm-hmm.
whatever one he said, we've never drawn out of Renaissance before.
Huh.
They draw out of their World Academy or Compass Academy or whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other side. Yeah.
Okay.
So they got approval to do all 3 of them. And I don't know how or if, Evie and Asher had anything to, pushing for it, but it appears that Douglas County is relaxing a little bit on their letting
Well,
the
that was the
information
big
get out.
that was the big hang up this year. We were like terrified to go into recruitment because there was just this negative idea that we were just going to get shut out, and they were actually fairly welcoming.
Yeah.
Something that worked well for us. So we talked with one of the schools in town that I don't know we've had access to in the past. What I did is I asked all of my parents. I said, "Hey, can you, if you have any kind of relationship with the PTA or the administration, just reach out to your school and ask them if we can set up a table at a back to school night." And I think a lot of schools had been shutting that stuff off. They had, either limited back to school night or they weren't inviting people from the community or whatever. But the school said, "Oh, we have a Girl Scout table. I guess we can have a Cub Scout table too." And so then they're opening that up to us. We had a charter school that has let us put yard signs out before, but has never let us inside for any of their events.
Right.
And what was funny is every time I've asked them about a back to school night, they've said, "Well, we don't let anybody from the community in." But one of my parents who goes to that school, like her kids both go there, she was at another one, and it's not a back to school night, it was something else. But they had a different pack at a table there, which honestly is awesome. Like, more power to them.
Sure.
Like, if somebody can get a table at a school, I don't care. Just get a table at a school, right? Like, tell them about Scouts. But we'd never, like, I'd asked, years, can we get a table at a back to school? And they never said, "Well, we don't do back to school, but we have this other thing where you could go." We just said we don't do back to school.
Yeah.
And this year she went there and said that there was a Cub Scout pack and said that they would let us do flyers. They've never let us do digital flyers before.
Okay.
So they're letting us do that this year. Which now I probably got to talk to the guy who set up the table at the school and be like, I don't know who's like, we were working with them for a bunch of years, but I think maybe there was a shuffle. So we'll have to talk to him and see. But like, most of what I'm trying to put out, so this is the other thing that I'm doing for Parker, is I'm coordinating a joint event for all the Parker packs, so everybody can put the same date, same location on all their stuff, and then we just invite everybody from the community to one big event. Everybody sets up a table, so it's kind of like the red carpet concept, but for Cub Scout packs, where it's everybody from all over the community everybody show up at the same spot, and then we'll help you find the right pack for you, either based on where they meet, how often they meet, how big they are, what night of the week they meet on. Because one of the things that I've seen, it seems like it gets in the way for people is like, you got one pack at your school, they meet on Mondays, but Mondays is your baseball night. And so you're like, I guess I can't do Cub Scouts. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that concept of like everybody getting everybody together, just trying to encourage people.
We're not talking about camp, so we're gonna come with.
I was gonna say, Jared, when you mentioned it, we really thought it was a good idea. So we are doing a joint night on August 26th with in Highlands Ranch. We did not get everybody, but we got 5 packs to
That is
participate.
That's awesome.
Nice work.
That was actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you, but I can save it for later. But yeah, we were able to get 5 packs. Several of the packs are still having their own recruiting,
Yeah.
but we are having it, and I actually have a banner we're going to post because it's going to be here, and we're going to
nice.
have it on outside, so people will see it on Broadway.
That's awesome. Nice.
So yeah, so we're excited about it.
That's really cool. One of the things
Yeah.
that I think that helps with too, especially if you've got struggling packs or people just feel overwhelmed because fall is so overwhelming for all of us because it's back to school. We're all trying to recruit. We're doing popcorn. We've got fall sports maybe, like there's just so much happening, particularly for Cub leaders, it feels like. That if you can set something up where like somebody who has the bandwidth to do that administrative lift, to kind of set it up, everybody else just shows up, that might be the only recruiting event they do. If they do more, that's great, but like if they only have the one, that's better than none, like if they get there, that's a good thing. So yeah, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that.
I think we're excited about it because hopefully we'll get more kids, and then everybody will benefit. We're hoping that everybody, all the packs will get some kids.
Yeah. That's the idea. Like I tell people that all the time. Like I don't care. I would rather have somebody thrive in another pack than struggle in mine because we're on a bad night for them or they have to drive across town or something like that. I would so much rather them find a good pack for them to stay in the program. So the more that we cooperate between the units and communicate with each other and say, hey, this family reached out to me, but they can't meet on my night. They said Wednesdays are good for them and they meet Wednesdays. Can you reach out to them? Like I do that all the time. Just, trying to help everybody out as much as we can. So for school stuff, what has everybody been trying? So we got digital flyers. Has anybody encountered the peach jar issue? We had that at a few schools last year where a whole bunch of schools were using peach jar for all their flyers. And it was like $400 to put a flyer out for peach jar for the handful of schools in town. But it sounds like
Sorry, just for the peach jar. We were doing that last year, but I don't think we're going to be
it's so expensive.
doing like any funding for that this year.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy expensive for what you get. It was like send out one flyer one time, to all the schools in town was like $400. And I was like, that's not worth it. So I was wondering if that was like hindering anybody else, but if the schools are now doing their own digital flyers or they're sending stuff out, that's great because that makes it way easier.
We've done digital and paper flyers.
Nice.
So flyers can go in their Friday folders, and then the digital flyers are going to typically the activity director, and then they can send them out as they need to.
Nice. That's awesome.
And then Aaron sent it out to the dads at Castle Rock, and then we've just been blasting it on social media. And
Nice.
Did
you talk about the 12 days of scouting thing?
Yeah, so our new den leader, he created a 12 days of scouting, and so for the past 12, today was day 11, tomorrow will be day 12, and it's just every day is one point of the Scout law, and then
nice.
we blast out to social media. But on that same thing is our QR code, and then has an advertisement for our ice cream social for tomorrow and Saturday. So
Heck
and
yeah.
and
And
know,
goes to our website.
and yep, and all the information's there just to get it
Nice.
out as much as we can. So
That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
yeah, I was kind of blown away when he came up with that idea. I was like, that's freaking awesome.
That is
Love
really
that.
cool.
So we will do that again.
Nice.
Multiple
That's a good
I think
idea.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, the last couple of years, we've had decent recruitment from other local groups. So like
Yeah.
the Dads of Castle Rock and other community groups, like, I mean, we're part of it, and so like getting our names out there too. We
Yeah.
had a couple scouts to come in, so I think
That's
it's
cool.
worked pretty well to do that recently.
One of the things that seems really nice is if you kind of do that, like if you post about scouting enough, then the people in the group will recognize like, oh, that's the scouting guy.
Oh,
And so
yeah,
then if somebody says, hey, I'm interested in
Yeah.
Cub Scouts, then they're like, oh, hey, the scouting guy, let's tag him in here, and then that works.
It's
really
always
well.
like flag retirements. Aaron.
Oh yeah,
And it's-
Yeah. Do you
this
guys
is really cool.
get many leads from the scouting website?
From Be a Scout.
Yeah, the official like
we don't get
leads.
a ton.
Because the one thing I find frustrating is you get the lead, you may get a lead or something like that, and a couple times I've gotten leads, but people put their email in wrong
Oh yeah.
or something, and then it just keeps saying, I keep getting emails, you have an active lead, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's just, because it's like,
Right.
I just find though some of the resources that the scouting provides is not that helpful.
Yeah, well, you can complete it, and that'll at least turn
Yeah.
off notifications, but if you can try to figure out the email.
Email
Or
or
Oh
sometimes
yeah, I
it
had
has
to
their
do
phone
some
number, too.
digging to find.
Or the phone
I
number.
found
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah,
But-
assuming they put it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
They
phone
have to,
number
when
would
they
be
do it, they
attached.
have to do their phone
They
number
should put
too.
their phone number too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And don't be afraid to call them.
well, no, it's one, I don't think it's a choice, they have to
Oh,
put
they
in,
have to-
I
have
think
to-
they have to fill in those lines, it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it won't let you complete the form unless you put in phone number and email address, I believe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
from the ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff you can leave it blank, but I think the other stuff you have to fill out, so.
We've gotten a handful of those, and some, I think one of the biggest things for the Be a Scout pin is making sure that it's updated. So make sure that it's got correct information. I think a lot of times that stuff gets forgotten, and so then it's 3 Cub Masters ago email that nobody's monitoring anymore. That is one of the big complaints that I hear from families that are reaching out to scout units, is that they try to reach out and they never hear back. And so if somebody gives you the wrong email address, obviously like there's nothing you can do about that. But
Yeah.
I think that like responding to them fairly quickly, I think is really helpful. And then having as much information as you can on that pin, like where you meet, how often you meet, what night of the week you meet, those kind of things. Because a lot of people make decisions based on what night of the week or how far away. So we've had families that have reached out and said, we're interested, and then they find out where we meet, and they're like, yeah, I can't get over there. We got Taekwondo till 6:15 or whatever, and then, so then I'm like, all right, well, let me find you somebody closer that you can go visit. But like that information can help them to find that good fit, and hopefully they reach out to you anyway and say, we're interested or whatever, and you can tell them more. But like the more information you can have in there, that may be
Yeah, no,
enough to get 'em.
I followed the instruction information from the update your pin or whatever, and so all
the
of
video I
that's in there.
made.
Yeah, or something. Whoever provided that thing about do your pin and everything, so I updated all that information last.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
taken on Cub Scout video editing as a hobby.
Or also
Yeah.
having like a joint night, like the August 28th, or having that on there would be helpful. As
So
well.
putting the join night information on. I hadn't
Yeah.
thought of that.
That's a good idea.
So like if they don't
Okay.
want to put their information, they
You still have that, yeah.
jot it down on a piece of paper and come here.
Okay.
So something that we've done, I don't know if this has worked well for any of y'all, but the yard signs in school pickup lines, does anybody else do those?
We haven't.
That's been huge for us. And a lot of schools that won't let you do anything else will let you do that because other sports or other clubs or whatever are doing the same thing. So if you talk to Asher, he'll bring you some signs.
So make sure in Castle Rock that you're not putting them on Castle Rock property.
Oh, well, we both live in the Meadows and we know all about it.
You put them
They are
school,
rude.
school property if they'll approve it, or personal property, but if it's on the town of Castle Rock property, they will pull them.
Oh, they'll pull it, throw it away.
Usually, they'll
Yeah.
pull them right after you put them in sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes though, if you put them next to other signs and there's a bunch there, they
Oh
won't
no,
see
you won't find them
Not
anywhere in the
Castle.
Meadows.
No.
No,
Not
no.
Castle Rock, they pull them.
It's like they have a guy that
Right.
pulls signs. That's his job.
That's his job.
The
to try to-
sign avenger.
Exactly.
And part of it came to a point where there's too many people doing their garage sales.
Yep.
And
Oh,
they'd
yeah.
leave 'em. And they'd be up there for, a month.
Yeah.
They said, they finally just, they passed
No
an ordinance,
signs.
say you can't put anything on,
Yeah.
on Castle Rock property. So if you put them out, make sure you get, you put them on, the homeowners or on the school, if the school said you could, but not on.
So if you reach out to the school, ask them about yard signs. The other thing I was able to do last year, I'm a Little League coach for Town of Parker Rec League as well, and I reached out to them and said, hey, could I put signs up at the sports fields? And they were good with that. So you can reach out to, different groups and, see what they'll let you do. But those yard signs, we get really good response out of those, which is kind of surprising. You would think we've always gotten more response from yard signs than from social media posting. You would think it'd be the other way around just because of how many people you're reaching, but for whatever reason, vast majority of the time when we ask people where they heard about us, it's either word of mouth, somebody told them, or it's the yard sign in the school pickup line.
What's on the yard? Is it a QR code? What do you put on the yard sign?
So I've done a variety of different things. Usually what I try to do, so last year I created Asher created a Facebook event for us for that joint recruiting night that we did. And we had a QR code on the sign that led to that Facebook event so that we could put more details on there. I think if I had it to do over again, I'd probably just do I'm not sure what would make the most sense, like a Google Doc or something like that.
Yeah.
The Facebook event was kind of futzy. I don't know if it worked that well, so I'd probably do something else. But a QR code to something where they can get more details about here's Be a Scout, here's links to different units or whatever. Like if you can get them to a landing page, and then you can kind of feed them a whole lot more. I think that was good. So what we ended up with last year was just the location, date, time, and then a QR code for the thing. I don't feel like that did as well as what I've done in the past, which is I've made it's very time consuming, but I've made a 3-page printed sign that covers up the whole yard sign and then just taped it on with packing tape. And then it's using those same Cub Scout yard signs that we can get from council, but it covers the whole thing up, so I can put all of my information. So I can put my pack number on it. I can put if we're gonna have 2 different join nights, I can put 2 dates. I can put a QR code to our website, that kind of thing. So I've done that in the past. If you have access to larger format printing, that would probably make that a whole lot easier. I was just doing it on my home printer on 8.5 by 11, and so at that point I'm trimming sheets and overlapping them and taping them onto these a dozen yard signs that I'm posting all over town. But they seemed like they worked really well. I feel like I got better results out of that than I did out of the baseline one with just a black and white bare bones info.
Yeah.
When I was able to put more content on there, it felt like we had more results. One of the things that I mentioned on there too was boys and girls welcome, ages K through K through 5th, because those are questions people have. Like people don't know that Lions exist yet, so people don't know that kindergartners can join. People still don't know that girls can join. So like having that information right there on the
That's still the
sign.
biggest question that I got on back to school nights was, do you guys accept girls? Of course.
Heck yeah, the more the merrier.
There's a few packs that are strictly boys still,
Yeah, pretty rare.
but not
Brown and Littleton and
So you guys
Parker.
are doing Castle Rock?
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's all really good information. Jared,
So
yeah.
that's what I would say is, you know, that stuff has worked well for us. A lot of it for us is word of mouth. You know, bring a friend to everything. So we really promote that. The buddy cards, I know Asher will give you buddy cards, but a lot of
Do
it
you have any
is.
buddy cards with you tonight?
Not for your unit, but we can get some though. We can get some made.
No, actually, I have some waiting at Scout Shop, so I just
Awesome.
kind of pick them up. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big one. You know, if you're running a good program, kids are having fun.
Yeah.
Probably want to bring their friends. You know, so like just promoting that, reminding them, like.
It's good for the parents too. Let the parents hand out to their parents.
Yeah.
Give them, you know, a couple handfuls out before school or whatnot, so they can hand to their friends. And
We've done some stuff too where we've given out some kind of little prize or something like that for anybody who, you know, brings a friend to an event, whether they join or not. Like if they join, they get the recruiter strip, obviously, but like you just bring a friend. If you just say, hey, bring a friend, we'll give you, you know, whatever kind of tchotchke you can come up with. I just had a bunch of stickers made.
Those are cool.
So Sticker Mule, if you buy an unconscionable number of stickers, they get pretty cheap by the each. But these are, I don't know, like 50 cents a piece, but they're nice stickers.
Those are way cool.
But we're going to be doing more of those too, handing those out. But yeah, you know, all that jazz.
I was gonna say,
Oh, go ahead.
Super cool.
just really quick, cause I do wanna get my question.
Yeah.
Evie mentioned that each of the packs does an activity at the join night, to kind of keep the kids busy while you talk to the parents and so forth.
Yeah.
So we're kind of having each pack decide what activity they're going to do.
I love it.
But I was kind of hoping that you might give us some ideas of what other packs have done, because trying to decide like what's appropriate activities. Is it, you know, something short, you know, like lawn games, or, you know, is it like frisbee, you know, is it more like, you know, what kind of activities have other packs done, or you guys do?
So at our event last year when we did the big group thing, we've got a backyard bass set, which is they're little flat plastic fish with like a lip on the front end, and you get a casting plug you can attach to a fishing line, so the kids can cast a fishing line and try to catch these plastic fish off a tarp. So I call it my portable pond. We bring that. There was a big homeschool recruiting event, or like a homeschool info event that we went out and set up a table at, and we put that out there. But that's a big thing for us because kids love that. That draws their attention. It's cool. So backyard bass is pretty neat. Yard games are great. I tend to think of them like an open house. So something that's easy to drop into and drop out of is going to be your best bet. So yard games are great. If you have like a troop that works with your pack, you can get some older scouts to come out there, teach some knots, do something cool with the younger kids. That could be awesome.
I like the bottle rockets are huge for
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do the water rockets.
Yeah, we do bottle rockets. We do yard games.
The like 2 liter water rockets.
Yeah.
Which launchers did you guys get?
I knew you were gonna ask me that question. I can't even
Because
remember.
we have some that I absolutely love. They're kind of expensive, but they are phenomenal.
I can tell you. Give me a second.
So we do that for our July pack meeting. Is just like, we don't, you know, we're not working on advancement. Everybody just comes out to a park and we launch those bottles over and over.
We use Aquapod,
Okay,
and then they work pretty good.
nice.
Yeah.
The one that we got, we We powered one up to 110 psi. They said the safety limit was 120 in the manual, so we were like, we're not gonna push it all the way, but we're gonna get pretty close. Oh my goodness, it was
That's
insane.
Awesome. How much water did you use?
Not much, like a cup.
Okay.
So we've got a
Change acceptance.
it's a weird name for the company, but the launcher is from a company called Relationship Wear.
Okay.
And it's like $80 for the launcher, so it's pretty expensive. But it is solid stainless steel.
Okay.
Like it's this solid stainless steel cylinder, and then everything that bolts onto it is like off the shelf parts. So if anything ever breaks, you can replace it. Like this thing will survive a direct nuclear strike. And so that's why we bought it. Was like, you know, you get one, it'll last forever. If it breaks, you can fix it. You don't have to buy a whole new one. And it's been phenomenal.
110 is crazy.
110 was ridiculous.
And to go back and answer your question, like the important thing for those games and whatnot is your scouts need to be interacting with the new kids.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have to be doing that. So you need to talk to your weebs and your AOLs and be like, you guys need to be spread around. And then you've got to have those other scouts spread around doing that. Because if a new kid goes, right, like my kids stay next to me and we get a shy kid that comes in and then my kids are the ones that go and Luca will do the same thing. Like,
absolutely.
they're, hey, can you go play with this kid? Right? And like take him to do something. And then that's the important thing. It doesn't matter what the game is. It doesn't matter what if you launch bottle rockets or not. Like that's the most important part of it, because then they're going to make that connection, and then the kids are going to go back to their parents. Inevitably, the mom's going to say, well, we'll go home and talk about it, and you're going to be in the car ride home, and if it's like, no, I didn't have any fun, it's not going to happen. But if your kids, your scouts can make their time enjoyable.
my son will make friends with the rock.
Yeah.
So,
but like, that's going to be the most important thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I really like that we played this game and then we did this, and like then you're
sold. And it's
right?
that we piece.
It's
so huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good point. Yeah, because if
you have to break your scouts up, because the dens are gonna want to go play with each other. Break them up, make them go do different things.
Yeah, no, we're figuring out who's the most social, and and we're gonna have our lone girl. We only have one girl in our pack, and we're hoping to get some more girls.
My girl was the recruiter for the rest of the girls in the pack.
Yeah, so we're
that's
trying to.
So huge is if you have a girl.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get
that's the wedge. That's the skinny end of the wedge, because then after that you can start getting more. So we've had that with like even by den. If there's a girl in the den, another girl coming in is more likely to want to join if there's a girl there.
And I'm thinking maybe too we have a den chief who's a girl, so we might, just because she's really cool.
Nice.
So we
Send the request. Just send it to the troop.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
But yeah, I was just trying to figure out, though I actually might just make a backyard pond thing, because we actually went to this I don't know if you guys know about this, but Colorado Parks and Wildlife will do a whole fishing for Cub Scouts, so you can get the elective badge for free up at Stanton Ponds in I forget what park it is. It's one of the state parks up at Stanton Ponds.
Okay.
And you can they'll provide all the gear, the bait and everything, and they'll teach your kids to fish, and so you can do the fishing elective.
That's
and then
awesome.
you just basically go to the ponds and fish.
Nice.
And you can do catch and release trout. So a couple of our kids caught trout. So if you go in May, they stock the ponds.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
It's
there's
really
a
neat.
I like that.
council event.
You said
Nick
that was
Kurtz is running it.
Stanton Ponds.
That one's at Lake Lehigh near Chatfield Reservoir.
Yep, just south of it.
Yeah, that one's October 19th, I think.
Yeah, and there's a morning and afternoon.
Yeah, there's 2 sessions, so that's a good one for recruiting. That's something that I will say, fishing, for whatever reason, if you mention fishing, I can't tell you how many times like somebody's come up to a table at a back to school night and talking about what we do, and I say fishing, and they just light up.
Everyone fishes.
Everybody wants to
Everyone
fish.
fishes.
Yeah.
Everybody
It's
wants
true.
to fish, and a lot of
Oh,
times
yeah.
parents don't know how,
It's Stanton
and so they can't
State
take their own
Park.
kids.
Stanton
Yeah.
State.
Yeah, and actually the staff said they can do other free activities as well if you want to do archery
Oh, cool.
and stuff too. So it was actually really neat. They have like these whole programs for kids.
And you contact them directly for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you just talk to them and they provide all the stuff for free.
They usually have some
That's
cool.
awesome.
We've done
We do that. We'll do that one instead of the other one.
Cherry Creek State Park did a program for us called Skulls and Skins. That was pretty cool. Where they've got like a bunch of animal bones and a bunch of animal skins, and you can like touch the different things, and they talk about ecology and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like
That's
if
cool.
you reach out, they've got a whole educational arm that they're
Mhm.
happy to do stuff with.
Did you go to Cherry
We did
Creek?
for our animal.
So we've
Yeah.
done that a few
Instead
times. So
of
we've done that
yeah.
for like as a homeschool group. We've done that one, and then we've also camped
It's
there
just really expensive.
most years with my pack.
It's like
But you
$350
have
for
to
that
go
deer.
there. They don't come to you.
So yeah, they do that there. There is a South Suburban Parks and Rec has a nature van that they'll bring to you depending on how far away you are. They had a flood table. They had crayfish. They had a skulls and skins presentation. So we had them come out last year to one of our pack events where they brought this huge van and did like all this cool, like all these different presentations. So we kind of get like a 3-year rotation. So this year we're doing Hawk Quest, which is they do the Fly the Birds. So we do that like every year. We kind of have a special event, and that's one of the things we do that in September or early October every year. And that's a great one to invite people to. Bring a friend, that kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
So that works out really well.
At our annual planning meeting, we were talking about that, but we were told, because we were thinking about doing it in the fellowship hall,
Oh yeah.
but we were told that the hawks have to be able to poop.
They put down stuff on the floor, like they put down mats on the floor.
Okay.
When we've had it done, we did it in a school cafeteria when we were meeting there.
Mhm.
So we did that 3 years ago. So we're doing it again this year.
Okay.
But they're
Yeah.
pretty good about it, and they actually prefer indoor space because the birds are contained.
Right.
So
Yeah, because we were worried that the church might not let us if they knew that like the birds would fly around and poop everywhere.
yeah, they don't. I mean, at least from our experience, they didn't poop while they were flying. They would poop when they were on somebody's arm, so the person
Mhm.
who was holding them would just like stand on a tarp.
Okay.
So
How much did you pay for it? Do you mind me
I
asking?
think it's like $300.
Yeah, I think that's what it
300.
was.
And then we
Okay.
also, there was a company, somebody went to like a birthday party, and there was a company called Party Safari.
We did
Yeah,
Party
we did
Safari
Party
last year.
Safari last
Yeah,
year.
we did them. Yeah, we did that 2 years ago, and then we did the SSPRD van last year.
What's Party Safari?
So
This dude, he's a reptile dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
he's a dude, and he's got
Is
a
that the
zoology
one
degree,
who brings all the
and he
snakes?
brings all
Yeah.
the snakes
he's got snakes and
stuff like that.
scorpions and turtles
Yeah.
and like all kinds of stuff, and he just brings them out. It was awesome. We had a great time.
20-foot ball python. Like it was wild.
Hmm.
It was way cool. Kids liked it.
I
Yeah,
went to
that
a
was a
kid's
blast.
birthday party,
Mm-hmm.
and they did. They
Yeah.
had like
What
10
was
or
the name of that one
15
again? How much did that one
snakes.
cost?
I think that
That
was
was like-
250 or 300 somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think it was 300 plus tip. So I think we ended up shelling out 350 in the end.
Okay.
So
There's the
Party
big
Safari.
quarters.
But the
So-
SSPRD, that was.
That one's more expensive. I think
Yeah.
that one's closer to
Yeah,
5. We
yeah,
actually
it was.
we had
Oh, he was a gecko.
Yeah.
had a couple
Oh, cool.
couple of parents kind of pitch in
Oh,
to
wow.
cover the excess over our
That was
300s for
Yeah.
that one because
Yeah.
our budget for those events is 300, so that one was a little more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they were fantastic. We had a
That's
great
cool.
time. They sent out like
Yeah,
3 trained
it's a little weird with a
Um,
big group like that. But
biologists.
Cool.
Their flood table is really neat.
Mhm.
So like
Mhm.
teaches the kids about erosion. They get to like put houses on the sand and then they flood and see what happens to them and everything. So like that was a cool event. We had a great time with
We've
that.
done that one too. That one's
Mm.
good.
So there's some more stuff that I want to start getting going. Dinosaur Ridge used to do a scout day. What I would love to do is if we can get a handful of good sized units to commit to that and say, hey, we'll bring 200 kids or something like that. I want to see if we can get them started again. If you guys have not done the Dinosaur Ridge Scout Day, it was phenomenal. If you've ever been to Dinosaur Ridge, normally you kind of like walk it yourself or whatever.
Right.
What they did is they had a packet. So when you registered, you said my kid's a tiger. They had a packet for your tiger that it's like a merit badge handbook basically, or like one of the worksheets where they said, go to this station, do this thing, go to this station, do this thing, and knock out whatever adventure they have available. But they had like oil and gas, they had water, companies, they had volunteers from the Morrison Natural History Museum came out, so they had a volunteer at each station all along the whole walkway, talking about everything, explaining stuff. Like, it was cool.
Well, I'm wondering if any of that would count towards the World Conservation.
Could be. Well, so you probably could, because there's there's a handful, like when they did it in the past, they haven't done it for a couple of years now, but when they did it in the past, they had like booths from all different kinds.
Right.
They had a Leave No Trace rep there who would give out a bunch of cards. They had Mr. Bones, the dude who puts on this like giant dinosaur skeleton costume and walks around and like puts his mouth over the kids' heads and they freak out. Like, it was amazing.
That's awesome. I love it.
So yeah, it's a blast. I want to try to get some of that stuff going. So I picture those things as district organized events that units can come to and use for recruiting, because it's something awesome. Like, hey, bring your kids out to this special day. Hey, invite a friend or whatever. Like, if you want to do something really cool, like, let's do it as a district. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it as a big thing where we can take advantage of the fact that we can get a whole heck of a lot of scouts out there. They show up and there's 200 scouts walking around. That's going to be pretty exciting. Right. That's going to look like.
Maybe have a prize for the scouts that actually bring a friend, because sometimes it's the scouts that show up and that's great, but we want to bring their friends.
Bring a friend,
Try
right?
to encourage that somehow.
And that's one thing, is because I've got 3 scouts, so like their friends are like, oh, no one else is doing scouting. Like, you're the only person I know doing scouting, and so then their friends don't want to join because it's just one person, right? Where everyone's playing soccer and everyone's playing baseball. So to show something like that, there actually is more people in scouting. It might be good for the district.
And so I like that. One of the other things that I've been working on, kind of what they were talking about with the family scouting committee. I've been trying to work with the Museum of Nature and Science and create a program, like a field trip program. So I've got PDFs with a couple, like a worksheet you can print out, one for each kid for whatever rank they are, and it'll say, here's the supplies you need to bring, here's where you go, look for this feature in this case, that kind of a thing. So I've been doing that for my pack for the past couple of years. When they changed the program, some of the things that used to work don't, so I'm still in the process of revising.
Old program, I did that.
But those kinds of things, like just having that where we've got some resources where it's like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, go do a field trip, go be visible in your uniforms out in public. We're gonna go, hey, bring a friend, we're gonna go to the museum, we're gonna have a great time. Hey, we're gonna go to the zoo, hey, we're gonna go to whatever. All those things I think are like, recruiting stuff is just do cool stuff, invite a friend, let people know you're doing cool stuff. So, just post that up. Be like, hey, we're taking a field, put it up on social media. Be like, hey, we're taking a field trip to the museum. We're going to learn about such and such, and then, invite them. Yeah. Most of this, if you get a big enough group, it's free to get into the museum.
Right. Den meetings was a free day.
Nice.
And so that's when Craig and I did that. So
Yeah.
we went on a museum free day to go do that.
That's awesome.
I'm no fun for the activity. I like it.
We gotta go.
One of the things I would like to do, I was thinking about trying to do it with Highlands Ranch, but maybe at the district level. I talked to Colorado Adventure Point, and they will do sessions if your kids want to get their elective adventure for archery or BB guns. and basically a session is like 2 hours. They really would prefer to have enough kids by den, and it basically, the cost of it is like $5 a scout.
It's
It's
really
very
reasonable.
thing, and so like we don't have enough kids in our pack. You know, I mean, if we went as a pack, there's like 25 kids, but there's not enough, you know, that would kind of fill it. So I was hoping to, you know, try and entice other kids in the packs and say, hey, and then we might get, you know, enough kids by den to do it.
Well, and that's a huge bring a friend too, right? Like that's a great one, because one of the things that I always try to promote is like, what do we do that people aren't doing anywhere else? Right? Like, what can we do that they're not going to get to do at school, or they may not get to do at home if their parents aren't into it?
Yeah.
So the archery, the BBs, the rock climbing, the fishing, the camping, like there's a lot of families out there that don't do that stuff, but the kids are interested, and the parents would love to show them or let them do it. They just don't know how, and they don't have the resources to offer it. So that would be a huge one if you could do a cap day. Bring a friend to, to that.
Because they said they would, like a 2-hour session, you could get your elective.
Yeah.
And it really, you know, as I said, it wouldn't cost much to be able for the scout to get their elective.
Yeah.
And such. And so I was gonna talk with them, and they said that, you know, they have some days open. It would just be a matter of figuring out what the days were and such.
Yeah, I love that idea. I think that's great. Doing that as like, you know, multi-unit event to fill it in, so you've got, you know, 16 kids per station or whatever. So you got, you know, I think that sounds great.
Yeah, because they said too, like they have different, like you need to have so much time on the range.
Yeah.
For like the Webelos versus, you know, the Tigers, you know, and so forth. So it would be better if they did it by dens.
Yeah. Yep. Nice. All right, they're kicking us out. We got to go.
I was kicking out, but yes, it's not.
I wasn't